On a chilly December afternoon, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
Ready? No. 60 Pittsburgh.
52 right here. 52. And let's get in that hole.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Penny, and not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Set, ready? 8, read.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. All right, here we go.
Shoot.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
On the ready.
57 the mic. Not today, you are. Not today.
5.
Penny, a 1st down carry. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now Rashad Penny. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Keep it up, guys.
Ready.
On the run, it's Penny. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Quick. Mike 52, Mike 52.
Mike. Be careful.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short.
Pick it up.
Back to throw. Alexander. And he will find his man on the outside. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. I think probably just trying to draw them off there. It didn't work.
And defensively, that's what you work on all the time. Being in that spot and being able to not jump and give them the yardage that they were desiring.
And his kick here is good. They're on the board first here. It's 3-0. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. And some space here. It's a foot race. 20, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have taken the lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Alexander. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Penny. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9. This is Penny. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A Bengal 1st down on the 16-yard pickup there. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Check it back.
Topper!
Penny. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Ready, set.
Check that. We got Mike 52 right here. Mike 52. Here we go.
Oh, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Let's go.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Alexander, and that is incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over.
At their own 32-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. From the 39, Rosen. He's going to rifle one deep left. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Smooth. Go.
From the gun, Alexander. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. A great return there of 22 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, and it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rosen, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
57 the mic. You gonna see me in your nightmare, son. You gonna see me in your nightmare. Mike's 57's right.
On third down, Rosen. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Yeah, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Charvarius Ward there to make the stop.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Time to go, night. Strong left. I'm coming.
Throwing on second down. Rosen. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 36.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Rosen now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10.
42's the mark, boys. 42's the...
Hey, Orbit.
I got you. Mike 42, check. Mike 42.
Rosen to throw again. Complete. Hunter Henry with the grab. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Rosen in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive.
Motion. Corner. Mike 42.
Again, it's Rosen. Staying on his feet, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Carl Lawson just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Let it, got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Miles Boykin as the first half is winding down as the Ravens push further out in front. After is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful.
14, Bengals 3.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
The Bengals take over. We got this. At their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This will be taken about the 12. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Let's go. Hey, alert.
Mike's 4-2. Mike's
Hey, Alpha.
From the 31, Rosen is going to float this over the middle deep. And this is going to be hauled in. Oh, what a catch at the 10. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 58 yards.
First down, Baltimore.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
Alert.
And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Joker. 61, Matchbox Lights.
Whip. Watch the whip.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9 at the Bengals' 9-yard line.
They gonna need some therapy after this.
Rush in.
On them,
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
On 2nd down, Rosen. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
They come out here in the I. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. On 1st down, here's Breida. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Second and goal from the 1. They'll try to run with Breida. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Matt Breida, his 6th touchdown of the season as the Ravens push further out in front. No problem there on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
At their own 33-yard line.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Alexander, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Alexander over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. And an alley to run. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. How about that? Their quarterback. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Extra point up and through. And it makes the score 21-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
It's 2nd and inches at the 27-yard line.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard.
Strong right. Even. 4th down. Even.
Hey, alert, alert.
Mike 42.
Here's Rosen to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
2nd and 10 now. It's Rosen. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back.
Let's go, Steve. Alert.
Hey, wahoo!
On 2nd and 12, Rosen. This one caught by Winslow. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot him at the 44.
Check motion.
Middle.
Cut. 57.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. And it's complete. Henry got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to stay in the moment, stay focused on the task.
And he's got him in the driver's seat here in the 4th quarter. Rosen now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Breida. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Yeah, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 21 yards. Rosen now 12 of 15 throwing the ball. 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by David Long. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Or they showing him things different than what he expected? for the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
The end result was brute force on brute force, but think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, first and 10. Looking to throw. Alexander. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
After the interception, here's Rosen. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on second and 10. On second down, a run with Breida. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a first and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And that'll set them back 5. Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on second and goal. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? From the gun, it's Rosen. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Set, ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Yeah. You don't want to know.
Hey, echo. Set, go.
From the gun, Alexander. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On first down, Alexander. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey.
Motion.
Mike's 57. 57's Mike. All day, baby. All down.
Throwing again. Alexander. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Alexander under pressure again, and down he goes again. Tack McKinley in there to drop him as that clock continues to run.
And twice in a row, the quarterback goes down. This offense needs 2 scores, not giving up 2 sacks.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll come on to kick. And how about this, a fake? Flushed out right, but he will not make the first down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, they look like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
Hi.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they were really helped by their defense forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Baltimore, it's a 4th win on the year as they move to 4-9. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, it's going to all but eliminate them from the playoff picture as they fall to 5-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.